Hi, good morning everyone. This is Shivaprasad Yadav. Till now, we are done some issues or something related to non-performing assets, and followed by prompt corrective action also we have completed. And now our focus point will be what are the latest changes in Indian banking system when it is the case of discussing about latest things into the banking system or latest things into Indian economy or world economy. The very first thing will be the payment banking system in India, and the second thing will be the cryptocurrency. So first of all, I'll be dealing with the payment bank system. For example, you all know about the most one of the most popular payment banks is Airtel Bank at present, and the reason behind it is it has huge network of customers through telecommunications, and for that database it is converting it into payment banking system. So that's a beautiful step. Before going to payment banking system, we are supposed to compare it with the regular scheduled banks. So on one side, I'll be taking the payment bank concept. I have payment bank on this side. I have a regular scheduled commercial bank on the other side. So this is scheduled commercial bank, and this is payment bank. So, what is the common thing in between these two? In India, a scheduled bank has to be established on the basis of 1934 Reserve Bank of India Act, RBI Act 1934, and it has to follow Banking Regulation Act BR Act 1949, and it has to be established. Previously, it used to be the Companies Act 1956. Now it is Companies Act 2013. Previously, it used to be 1956 Act. And its paid up capital at present, if we want to have a scheduled commercial bank in India, if we want to establish the paid up capital is 500. There is a possibility of increasing this number up to 1000 crores is also there on the cards. So that is all about commercial bank. Now, what is the common thing between this payment bank and the scheduled bank? This payment bank establishment also has to follow the RBI Act 1934. The first condition is same. The second condition, it has to be established on the basis of Banking Regulation Act 1949. It has to be established on the basis of Companies Act 2013. And what is the paid up capital? The paid up capital is 100 crores. So that is the basic thing you all supposed to know related to payment bank. And while discussing about payment bank, please keep Airtel Bank in your mind, or India Post Payment Bank in your mind. When compared to India Post Payment Bank, Airtel Bank is a more popular one. So keep Airtel Bank in your mind. So Airtel Bank is established on the basis of 1934 Reserve Bank of India Act, Banking Regulation Act 1949, and Companies Act 2013. And the only difference is the paid up capital. Now it is related to legal establishment of the bank. Now we will discuss what are the limitations. Now, scheduled commercial banks, you can say that they are universal banks or parabanks. But when you discuss about these they are narrow banks. So narrow bank means its functions are limited. So that is narrow banking, and this is para banking or universal banking. Universal banking means the bank will be having functions like taking deposits, lending money. That is traditional banking. When it is para banking or universal banking, issuing of debit cards, issuing of credit cards, doing things related to insurance activities, and doing things related to demat accounts, all these are part of universal banking. Now, these payment banks can only take deposits, and these payment banks are not allowed to lend loans. So loan lending concept is not there with the payment bank. It is not supposed to issue credit cards. So it can issue a debit card, there is no problem in that one, but there is no such concept like credit card concept. So it can issue a checkbook also. A payment bank can issue a checkbook also, but its functions are limited. It can take deposits like a commercial scheduled commercial bank. It can issue debit cards like this one. It cannot give loans like this one. It cannot issue credit card, but it can issue checkbooks. So as its functions are limited, the functions are limited. It can be defined as a narrow bank or a traditional bank because it is up to taking deposits and giving loans, except this debit card concept. No, these are universal banks or parabanks. Universal bank or parabank means debit card will be there, credit card will be there, demat account will be there, insurance account will be there, mutual funds you can do. You can do many things with scheduled commercial banks. Nowadays, all banks are parabanks or universal banks. As the functions are limited, this is a narrow bank or traditional bank. You can define it like that. But one more conclusion is, as it is satisfying all these things, RBI Act 1934, Banking Regulation Act 1949, Companies Act 2031, this is a scheduled commercial bank, and up to some extent, this can be defined as a scheduled bank also. Scheduled payment bank, maybe a new definition into Indian banking system. So this is all about payment bank, and there are some things which we are about which we have to discuss with respect to payment banks. As each and every individual is holding a smartphone, and each and every individual is using a network, either Airtel network or Vodafone network or some other network. Each and every network is supposed to have a payment bank in near future, which increases the organized money flow. Actually, everyone can have any sort of amount in their payment bank. That increases the organized money market flow into the economy, so that will be a very good thing. And there will be a disadvantage for public sector, so there will be disadvantage for scheduled commercial banks, because here the limit is there up to 1 lakh. So the people will give more priority because it is more flexible when compared to this one. So instead of keeping their money in scheduled commercial banks, they will keep their money here. So that is also an advantage for the economy only. More money flow, instead of keeping the cash in kitchen or keeping the cash in your pocket in hard form, they will keep their money in their mobile in the form of payment banks. So if the payment bank's expansion will be more and more and more, that will be good for the economy, and at the same time that will be bad for the functioning of scheduled commercial banks, and more bad for public sector commercial banks, because private sector banks are going to fight it out under any circumstances, and that's a different part. But problem will be there for public sector commercial banks. If this number increases, and these people will be in trouble. So that's all about a payment banking system. I have explained you about the establishment of a payment bank, the functioning of a payment bank, its limitations, and if it increases, who is going to lose more? Ultimately, the public sector commercial banks. So that's all about payment bank concept. Thank you. I'll meet you in my next video. Bye.